Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Happy Sunday morning. It's actually a beautiful morning. I see nothing but blue skies, a little bit of clouds. The sun is coming through pretty good, pretty decent. Little cloud cover. Ag Zone 989B, Southern Texas. About 45 miles northwest of Houston in the burbs. Virginia Life Wayne, micro food for us here in the morning. They say it's supposed to rain again today, but it doesn't look like it right now. But we'll see what's going to happen. The weather could change immediately. I did a story, a video of my new Fishmate automatic fish feeder, and I was kind of inaccurate on the information I gave for this. I made my own suspension pedestal. I made this myself, working great. It holds the Fishmate automatic feeder up over the fish tank to disperse the food. What I was wrong about was the feeding sequence. I'm just learning how the Fishmate feeder works, and I realized it has a 21-hour counter clock feeding dispenser, and you can only feed actually once per day. Once per day you can feed, and you can set the time you want the Fishmate feeder to dispense food in the fish tank or pond or whatever you have it set up to feed. You can set the time, but it only feeds once per day, and I wasn't thinking. So when you get something new, you have to learn it by trial and error sometimes when you operate it. And after watching it and seeing it operate, I realized, hey, it's very important to read the instructions more and more and observe what you're buying or whatever. So, and what it allows is, it does allow you to pick the amount of food to come out of the Fishmate. That's important. So you can pick the time you want it to dispense in that 21-hour period. You can pick the time, and I'm having mine dispense here. It's going to dispense in less than, as you can see on here, I don't know if you can see that. In about an hour, it'll drop the food in here. So you can pick the amount of food you want to come out. So since it dispenses food once per day, I went to the gauge and I picked the amount of food that I want to come out. As you can see here, I have it set on 15. It goes from 0 to 40, and I have it set on 15. That's the amount of food that I want for it to dispense out once per day in here, which is enough, more than enough for the fish. I wasn't thinking. So it will dispense food in my DIY custom-made fish tank once per day, and I don't have to feed the fish. Every day it will do that until the storage goes empty. And this holds a lot of food. It holds a lot of pellets in here, and you can put flake food in there too. So depending on what size pellets you're putting in it. But I'm feeding bluegill fish, which is a smaller game fish. So I have more than enough pellets in there to last easily 2 weeks. This will feed for 2 weeks. I've calculated if I have it on 15, the amount to come out, this will feed my fish for half a month. where I don't have to touch anything. And that to me is awesome. That's awesome. So I'm enjoying my FishMate P21 automatic fish feeder. Makes my job in the micro food forest and especially aquaponics system a whole lot easier. All I have to do now is drop my earthworms in here that I'm raising in my earthworm farm. So I do feed these fish earthworms too. So the pellet food is taken care of now automatically. It's going to be a beautiful day here, it looks like. Even if it rains, it's going to be a beautiful day. Go look at the large fill and drain beds, see how they're doing. And the pump is on. It comes on automatically this time of day, and it's pumping water up from the sump up into the fill and drain grow beds. As you can see, all that rainwater we got, I got plenty of water because actually the water is tapped off now at the top of the sumps. This one over here is doing well. Watering all the vegetables, fruit, trees that's in their fill and grow beds. Fill and drain grow beds, I should say. And here, as you can see, I have some blooms. I have some blooms from my sweet potato plant that I put in here to grow slips, sweet potato slips. And this plant is blooming. This sweet potato plant is actually blooming. And I learned that there are varieties of potatoes that do bloom, and this sweet potato is one of those that blooms. That means it's doing very, very well in my aquaponics system. When a plant blooms, that means it's doing very well. And I put this potato in here to get sweet potato slips. So it's not producing any potatoes in here. Not yet. Well, it won't. This one won't, because it came from a potato. I put it in here. So it's not going to produce any potatoes. But what it did produce was lots of potential slips that I cut off. I cut off and put into air pots in my grow beds, then start new potatoes growing. So this one potato has provided lots of sweet potato slips that are now going to be potatoes. And I put those slips, I put them in here. All these are going to be new potatoes that came from this parent plant. So they all will be new potatoes in these 3-gallon grow bags in the fill and drain grow bed. These are all going to be new potatoes. All these, there's one over there too. So that came from this parent plant. And what I might do is I might go ahead and I enjoy watching things grow. So I might leave it, although it's not producing any potatoes, it's producing new slips via the vines it's putting out, like you can see right now. I enjoy seeing things grow. I enjoy bloom, so I might just let it, might not take it out and just let it continue to grow like it's doing now and producing all these beautiful blooms, as you can see. Now, my corn is growing very well. And over here, everything's growing well in here. Look at that bull cypress cutting, putting out new shoots. Beautiful. And then my watermelon is putting out its first blooms. this watermelon, as it continues to vine, and I want it to vine all the way up. I got to get it on the stalk here. Now as the vines are getting big, I want it to grow all the way up this stalk I made for it. My fault. This trellis I made for it. As it continues to grow and vine, and it will start producing melons here pretty soon. That's my squash that's getting bigger and bigger every day. So beautiful, beautiful blooms on that sweet potato plant. And here is a fake fruit tree that I grew from a cutting that I'm going to have to take out and pot this one up. It's growing very well. I grew it from a cutting, aquaponically, as you can see. I've learned that aquaponics is the best way to grow root cuttings because they grow 3 times faster in the aquaponic system because they're constantly getting that organic nitrate from the fish waste, converted fish waste, and they're constantly getting air at the same time. They're getting both 24 hours a day. So it's a beautiful thing. So the journey continues. I have a lot more to do in the aquaponics system. I got more plants I'm putting in here. I have to get 2 more bigger sumps, just like the one I have for aquaponics number 3, the 300 gallon. And what I'm creating is a mobile food forest. Aquaponic systems are actually mobile food forests because you can move these aquaponic systems easily. You can take them down very easily, place them in a pickup truck, a U-Haul truck, or whatever you want to transport them with. If you move, and you can have this same system set up anywhere. Wherever you move, they're easy to take down. That's why I'm building mine the way I built it, because it's easy to break it down and transport these large aquaponic systems anywhere I live. Say if I decide that I'm going to sell this house. I've sold several houses I've owned, and I want to build another home or an off-grid home. I can take all these aquaponic systems with me easily. Within a few hours, I can break them down, put them in a U-Haul or a large pickup truck, and transfer them to my new home if I was ever to buy another home, which is quite possible. Because as I become more of a minimalist, and as I get older, I'm 57 years old, as I get older, I'm actually downsizing. And the next home, if I buy another home, will be a small 3-bedroom off-grid home. A small 3-bedroom off-grid home with my aquaponic systems. These same ones, because they're easy to transport. That's one thing about aquaponics. You know, you can take your garden, your aquaponic system with you. You don't have to leave it where you are. You don't have to do that. You can take it with you. You know, so it's going to be a beautiful Sunday, it looks like. The sun is coming out. I don't think it's going to rain. They say it might, but they change the weather all the time. I'm looking at blue skies above me, but that could change. So I hope everybody's getting outdoors and grounding, drinking their tea, finding today's tea. And this is Regenerative Life Wayne coming to you this morning in this micro food forest in this large aquaponic sections. Y'all have a nice Sunday. And remember, ain't nobody coming to save us, y'all. We gotta save ourselves.